Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Horse Racing Manager, and this is a live stream of Horse Racing Manager, which released on Steam today. And I have had the privilege for about the last month to be able to take an early look at this game. As I like to be very upfront about these things, I did receive a free Steam key for the game so that I could give it a try and do a video or two on it. So I do want to be upfront about that. The company has been awesome to work with, and I will say that they know that I'll be entirely honest in what I say, and they're okay with that. They kind of were happy to hear the feedback that I was able to give them a few weeks ago. They did have to delay their launch due to a couple of technical problems. I guess Steam suffered a denial of service attack, and it kind of backed things up for a bit, and so their game didn't get vetted, I guess, in time for it to go when they wanted it to. And then there was Next Fest. They didn't want to compete with that, so they ended up launching today. I did get the notice from Steam that the game is now available. It looks like it's at a 15% discount right now. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the game. Now, I did do a video on this earlier, I guess 3 weeks ago, thereabouts. And if you saw that video, the game has changed tremendously. And at that point, I said that I liked the bones of the game, but it needed a little bit of work. Well, they have put in an amazing amount of work. I would bet that I wasn't working with their absolute latest at the time. If I'm being honest, I think the early access was like 3.5 or something like that I was working on. Well, 0.3.5 or something. It was a older number, and we're up to 6. Maybe it was 4 something. But anyway, we're at 0.6. I have seen a couple of builds in the meantime. Every once in a while, I just jumped in to see where they were at. But I am really happy with what I'm seeing today and yesterday when I did finally see the final build that was going up for public consumption. So let's go ahead and start a new game. So I will kind of explain things as we go, but I will also probably relate them to what I saw before and what has improved, just in case there's any of you out there that didn't see that did see that video and had some concerns. I want to address things that I have noticed that are much better. One thing I will say, I have had one crash playing the game, and that's a reduction from prior to that. I was getting one about an hour every hour or so. It wasn't really horrible, and the game was saving and then it would crash, so it isn't like I lost anything. I just had to start the game again, but that can be frustrating over time. Only had that happen once, playing for a few hours yesterday, just kicking the tires again. So very happy to see that. We're going to give ourselves a name here. We could choose random, and that'll give you a name to start with. I'm going to go ahead and name myself what I have been using lately, and that is Chad McReynolds. No, not Chad McReynolds. Chad, Missouri, where I'm from. And then we're going to go with a gender of male and birth date. I've been giving a date that I remember pretty specifically. Oh my goodness, it gave me the right year, 1993. Look at that. Okay, so these had AI art that as placeholders in the past. This is new artwork that has been added. Human generated is my understanding. You can choose 3 scenarios. You can be homeless, you're hardworking, you're the hardest worker in the room and you're not afraid to fail. You can be middle class, changing your life to pursue your passion, or you can be the wealthy guy who has always been surrounded by wealth. Well, I've been picking the middle of the road guy, and I think all of this impacts is your starting cash as an individual. The game has your money and then the stable's money, and you're running the stable. You can kind of swap the money back and forth if you want to. And I think in the future they have plans to make there be reasons for wanting to do that. You can use your money to gamble, but you can also gamble with the stable money. So there's a couple of things to just kind of keep in mind there. I'm just going to go with the middle of the road guy. I'm going to choose him there. These are our starting stats, and we can hit roll to re-roll our guy if we want. What I look for is having good numbers in the first 3 here, and I'm not terribly concerned about the training because I'm going to hire trainers. It doesn't hurt to have that, and if you want to be the person who trains your horses yourself, have at it. Try to max these out as best you can. While this is not a horrible entry here, I'm going to go ahead and just hit roll so we can see kind of what happens here. And as you can see, some of those stats got a little better. This one got way, way, way worse. Stable hands are hard to come by too, by the way. So maybe not the worst thing to have a good stat in that. At least that is what I had seen. We'll go with that one. That one looks kind of middle of the road-ish. Very good leader, decent negotiator. Not a great jockey, but I probably can hold my own if I need to. Let's go ahead and hit next. This screen is about the same. It seems that it has roughly the same kind of choices that it had. Oh, I'm going to go with that guy, but we're going to change the hair just a little bit. Let's see. I'm struggling with finding where I think that's supposed to be. Why am I missing that? Hair, eyebrows, hair color, hairstyle. That's what I want. Okay, well, I like the hat. So I want him bald with a hat. That's what I want. We're going to go with that guy. That works really well for me. I'm going to take that one. This is new, and I did have one person ask on my previous video, hey, is there harness racing? Apparently there is harness racing now. You are more than welcome to pursue that. I am going to go with the standard thoroughbred flat racing, but we do have it here. There is not steeplechase to my knowledge. I don't know if that's something they're planning on including in the future. It doesn't appear to be in there just yet. If that is on their roadmap, it's not something I really thought to check on, but we're going to go with flat racing. Incidentally, you can't click on the pictures. You can probably hear me clicking there and nothing's happening. You actually have to click on the words down here, and that holds true for the first screen where you pick your starting condition. There we go. And then we also have the size of the world. I guess these are horseshoes. This one made to look like a D, but otherwise 1, 2, 3, 4, or custom made to look like a C. That's pretty awesome. That was clever. I'm going to go ahead and go with normal for now. I think that in the previous version I was playing with a larger one because I was struggling a little with getting races for the horses that I was purchasing to run in. Okay, there we go. And we get to name our stable, where we're going to go with Show Me Stables. And our starting cash is 10 million. We can edit that if we want. 10 million is what is recommended. I'll tell you what, because we're just playing around, I'm going to go with 15 million. We're going to go with that, and we're not going to have any starting horses. And then I'm going to click on automation. This is what the game will automatically do for you at any particular time. It does a pretty good job. In the previous version that I played through, it did seem to be a little clunky. Feels a lot better now, but I have only turned on these two that I've really gone after and tried, the training and the scouting. The training one is working much, much better than it had, and so I'm pretty pleased with that. Scouting looked like it worked pretty well in the previous iteration as well. I did turn many of these off. I like to hire my own staff, although you can do an auto hire, and I do tend to do that on the first real hire of staff, so I don't have to go through all the different positions. It just takes care of it. But then I like to manage that as people roll out of the company or I need to hire more folks. Automatic horse buying, well, I like to buy my own horses. Selling horses, I prefer to sell them. There you have it. You can kind of look through there and see what you have available, and then we're going to hit start game. Now this part will take a minute, but what I will say is a lot of the game has been optimized. It's very obvious. There were spots where it felt like it took forever to flip from one screen to the next in the past. And again, I didn't put a lot of credence into that because I was working with an alpha version. This is now the beta, basically, if you want to call early access beta. And it does feel like that's been optimized quite a bit. You would wait at the end of a race for, oh my goodness, on my computer, probably 7 to 10 seconds, which, you know, when you say it out loud, doesn't seem like a lot of time, but when you're sitting there staring at a cursor waiting for it to advance, it can feel like forever. Might have been a little longer than that too at times, but ultimately that seems to be much, much better at this point. Also, after I made my last video, I did kind of fall into a groove where I started playing a lot better. In the previous one, I didn't really know what I was doing terribly well, and I think some of it came down to I wasn't really paying attention to the right things in the quality of the horses that I was getting. So here is my MO. It is the 27th of December, and there generally are a couple of auctions for horses in the next couple of days. I think if we look at this, we can see, I believe these squares are generally going to be when there's auctions or races. And it looks like there are two colors, and I honestly can't tell you which is which. I think yellow and maybe green. They probably mean something specific, but I don't necessarily know what that is. I'm not too concerned about that. What I am going to do is sign up for some upcoming auctions, but I'm going to wait until the end of the year. I don't want to purchase my horses until January. And it's a little silly, but the reason I do that is I don't fully understand how you hire people and give them a bonus the next day, like a huge bonus. And I'm concerned it might impact their morale if you don't. With that said, I've had people quit after 3 days either way. So I don't know if it's me or what. What I can do though is build my facilities out. This is new. It's a graphical look at what you have, and I very much like it. It's not uncommon for these kinds of games. Many of the previous horse racing simulators I've played have done exactly this, where it's just basically a 2D sprite style screen, but we have the ability to see what is going on here, and that is great. So I'm going to go ahead. We gave ourselves 15 million to start, and there was some logic to that in that I'm going to go ahead and just get everything built. So my starting story for myself is that I inherited, grandpa's farm, I guess, or grandpa's stables or something. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to go top to bottom. We're going to start with breeding facility. Now, I'm not going to buy everything. I'm just going to buy the basics to get everything in that I can do in the game then. So we'll start with the breeding facility. And we'll buy that. We're going to go to feed and nutrients, and we'll buy one of those. And we'll go to finance. I'm skipping finance, actually. I don't want to deal with this just yet, and so we're not going to worry about it. Marketing research. This gives you better information on horses that are out there and available. Probably not the worst early buy, at least assuming it's doing what it's supposed to do and that I have it right. And so I am going to go ahead and buy that one. Medical area, I can hold off on that until I have a sick horse. I'm going to wait. There is no time to build these. As you can see, things are popping up as I select them. So if we have a sick horse, we buy a medical area and we can deal with the horse right away. Stables. I'm going to go ahead and buy a couple of things here. First of all, just a couple of extra stables. I don't see where anything new pops up on the screen, and that's okay. But we're going to go ahead and we'll just do 4 of them. I'm honestly not sure. I think your basic stable holds 5, but you can also buy more than 5 horses and it doesn't do anything about it. So having a few of these is good. You can go up to 500. So clearly I doubt you're going to be, housing 1,000 horses and managing that. So there clearly is a small number of stable per horse. I just don't know what it is. So we should be able to let's do one more. Just in case it is 5, we should be able to do 10 horses. Certainly 6 to 10 at this point, I think is fair to say. And we're going to go ahead and get the paddock. We'll do that. And the staff office, I think we do want to do that. I was thinking the staff office was under something else, but there we go. So we built the staff office. And then finally, we're going to go to the training area. And to start, we're just going to purchase the training area. And that's this. This is where we can train our horses. As you can see, they're across the pond because they're going clockwise. Where I'm from, we would go counterclockwise, but that's okay. It doesn't impact anything. Not a problem at all. Okay. That is the facility. We are done there. Now next, we are going to go to the stable. No, not the stable, the market. Now we're not actually going to jump into the market yet. We're going to set up ourselves to go to an auction after the first of the year. But this screen is completely different, and I kind of like this one too. It shows you horses that are coming up that you can buy now that are featured. This one we could spend $2 million and just take them. That wouldn't be the worst buy, actually. A 2-year-old horse with a very high potential, not a bad deal in the grand scheme of things. Let's see. These are horses that are being advertised that you can just buy by clicking right here. And then these are auctions that are being advertised, and you can just click right here to select the auction. And we'll go ahead and look at these real quick. So this one is tomorrow. Well, I was kind of waiting for the end of the year. You'll notice all of these are this year. And it really doesn't matter that much. This isn't going to be my long-term game probably, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to skip on that for now so I can show you the other screen. This one would look more familiar if you saw the previous video. This is the upcoming auction screen, and it shows you the auctions, and it shows you how many horses are in the auction. Basically the quality of the horses that you'd be seeing at these particular auctions, and then the types. So stallions, foals, brood mares, yearlings, 2-year-olds. I think that's everything. Mixed is in there too. Beyond that, I don't know that there's anything else. So those are the options we have for the types of auctions we might go to. I'm going to go ahead and select, well, like I said, I was kind of hoping to wait until next week. And there's nothing that says we have to start racing immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and wait that few days. We're going to wait the 2 weeks, and we're going to go to the Newton Bitter Paddock, I would bet is what this is. These names are randomly generated as best I can tell every time you start a new game. I don't really recognize any of these from a previous playthrough. Well, playthrough might be a little bit broad of a term here, but playing the game, I don't recognize these. Let's go ahead and let's take this one that has pretty high prestige. But the thing about a high prestige one is it's going to also have high horse quality, and that means we're going to be paying more to register to go, and at least, I'm sorry, I think we're paying this. This is probably actually the price that the horse owner pays to get the horse in there, now that I think about it. I was probably thinking about that backwards. Nonetheless, we can see a little bit about some of the horses that are in this one. Its condition is fantastic, moderate speed, estimated value just south of $1 million. So that kind of gives you some idea of what we'd be looking at. Same here, roughly the same. Kind of low end on speed in that though. That's kind of interesting. We can throw a scout in there, and we don't have one yet. We need to hire the scout. We'll do that in a couple of days, but then we might get tighter information on what this horse looks like. Let's go ahead and, you know what, let's look at this one, the broodmare. A little bit better actually, and lower priced horses. That's curious to me. I think we'll go ahead and go to that one. So we click right here, and that'll pop us in there. Auction preparation. You're now participating as a bidder in this auction when it comes up, which is on January 6th. Okay, so we'll be going to that auction. We can go to the 2-year-old, and if we decide we don't like anything, we don't have to do anything. Let's go to the yearling one, which has higher quality horse. Actually, it's these two horses, so we can look now. Low end on the stats there, but really good condition, moderate health. Obviously no experience, right? It's a yearling. So that's interesting, okay. And this guy, about the same. Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure what to make of that. It could be I'm not getting good information because I don't have any staff yet. So we maybe want to take a look at that in a couple of days. All right, going through here, 5 days is into next year. Let's go ahead and go to this broodmare. That the one I wanted? Yes. No, I'm sorry. Let's go to this one right here. It's in a week. So we'll hit this one as well. Oh, we already were registered for that one. That's the one we had picked. Sorry about that. So maybe we do want to hit that one. I was hoping there'd be a stallion one. This one way down here, just the one horse. Decent horse though. We're going to go ahead and hit that one. He's decently priced for who he is, it looks like. So let's hit that one, and there we go. So then what we do, the game controls are a little different than what you might be used to. You have this menu that's pretty much persistent, doesn't go away. You have tabs for any particular slot you're on right now. Then we have your personal money, your stables money, the current date. This is a search bar that is really powerful. It searches everything in the game basically, and you can find things pretty easily, like the Vargas Mart. Is that going to show up? It is not. Okay, so that's not going to show up, but if I look up, got to spell things right, show me stables, there's my stables. So, you know, that sort of stuff is happening. This horse over here is Quest Panorama. Quest Panorama. There we go. We can click on that and get straight to the horse. And then you're back, almost like a browser, your back button on your mouse will move you back to the previous screen you were on. You can also use these, and you can use them to go forward as well. So there you have it. Pretty powerful search tool there. The 1 week is the next auction date. It's kind of telling you when the next thing is coming up for you. And then that's the game settings where you can go and save the game, things like that. Next event. This is a drop down, and it basically determines when you hit next what's going to happen. So often it's on next event, and if you have no events scheduled, it defaults to next day. So you won't let 100 years go by all of a sudden. It'll just advance a day. But generally, this will tell you how far it's going to jump, or at least what it's going to jump to. So we know that we have an auction coming up in 1 week. So if I click this right now, a week will go by. So we should see this advance to like the second or third, I guess. Let's go ahead and hit it. We're just going to let that happen. Happy New Year, everybody. One of the things that will happen is an email that tells us all the winners of the year-end awards, and nothing wrong with that. But for now, we're just going to skip them. I don't find this terribly useful early in the game. As you advance and you're playing more and you want to, really compete with those other stables, probably makes some sense. But it's things like this. In a year of exceptional performance, Combustion Haven has been recognized as the outstanding stable. So this is a stable. I don't know if it talks about 22 horses, 11 victories. That's not too bad. So we will delete that email. The next one up is the jockey, Master Baxter crowned head trainer of the year. So the head trainer, best head trainer, gets an award. Oh, and by the way, Philomena here is my assistant. They're our intern. They're kind of helping us with our email. I almost look at it as though they're reading it to us. I think this is the jockey of the year. Yep. Brian Avila. And then manager of the year. This is the position we're filling right now. So ultimately, we would like to win that award at some point in the future. And we'll delete that one. And then race season has come to an end, and it kind of talks about some of the bigger races, I think, is what this is. Or no, who the champions are at different levels is what it is. So there you have it. Again, I'm not terribly concerned with that in my very first year of working through this. So those were our events, and you'll notice it is now the 5th. Okay, I miscalculated just a touch on how far it was. So we went out about 7-8 days, it looks like. And then you'll notice we could hit next auction, and I don't want to do that right now. I'm not sure at this point if you hit that, if it literally skips today and goes to the next one that you have scheduled, or if it would just kind of sit on today because there's an auction today. The previous iteration that I was playing, if you were on an auction day and you kept clicking this, you just stayed there. And it could be confusing because the screen didn't change. So it looked like it had frozen up or something. There was a way to tell that it hadn't, and then it took me a while to figure that out. So long story short, it is possible that could happen here, but I really don't want to find out right now. We're going to go ahead and go to the auction. And when we go to an auction, it lists the horses that we can bid on. And a couple of these horses have been graded. That means they've won something, or at least raced in something. I would say he probably has to have won in order to be listed here. The horse reserve, this is the minimum bid. Now, it isn't a starting bid, and I've always thought that was weird. If you're going to have a minimum price, why not make that the starting price and you're done? But there's probably a reason for it that I've never thought of. There is a buyout price. If we choose that, hey, this horse, we really want him bad, we can buy him out as soon as the auction starts, pay that amount. He's ours. I guess in this case, she's ours, right? Mare, yeah. These are all mares. It's a brood mare. These are all ladies. So there you have it. It shows the amount they have won in their career, I think. Nope, the screen does not show that. Okay, it isn't showing that. So these, I saw this. I was thinking that was the cash they've won in their career. That's not what that was. So if we come down here and click this one, we should see that they probably have a win or something like that at some point in their career. And I'm just not seeing where you get more detail. Maybe we can't get more detail just yet. So we'll close that out. Incidentally, wouldn't be the worst thing to go ahead and hire that staff that I was talking about meeting after the first of the year. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I will see if I can make some adjustments here. One moment. Okay. Okay. And let's take a quick peek here. So the staff, I hadn't hired staff. I was waiting for the beginning of the year. I'm going to go ahead and hire staff, but, well, actually I can't auto hire because there's nobody to hire. It calculates how many people it thinks you need to have. And then if you use auto hire, your assistant will hire generally the best folks available that it can find, but you don't have any control over how much you're spending when you do that. So that's something to consider. With that said, I think early on I don't mind doing that, and that's what we'll do. But it looks like we need to have a horse first before it'll even bother telling us. So let's go back to that auction, and let's see if there's something here that we like. We're going to click on max ability. Now, I don't mind a horse that's going to take a while to get up to their prime, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of that going on here. So let's take a look at Pepsi Endearing. I'm going to bid on that one, so I'm going to click here. And then next up, we will take a look at, I don't know. This horse is at its max ability right now. It has a $1 million buyout, basically. It has a starting price that we can probably deal with that. So we'll take a look there. These horses are young enough to still run also. You can get horses, I've seen them up to 11. I don't know what the game really limits that to. Some racing games, I think I had horses that were like 16 and they were still racing. I don't know how realistic that is. I haven't followed the sport closely in probably a dozen years, so it's not really jumping out at me. I do remember that horses race longer than I thought they did, but they're in their prime shorter than I thought they would be. And I that kind of always messed with my head because that seems like, how can both those be true? But anyway, I don't recall max ages and things like that. This game, it feels like this is probably getting to their limits. The 3, obviously not, but the other ones maybe starting to reach their limits. So the 3-year-old there is a 2.5 max capability. We could maybe take a peek at them. And we could also look at this much older horse and maybe see about getting a horse kind of cheap, and then maybe seeing if we can jump in there and start our breeding project. And so one way you could start is you could buy strictly low value horses, try to build your stable up over the years from that. You just, doing your own breeding in that, and then, working the best of the best and seeing where you end up. That is a way to go. With the time box that I have on this live broadcast today, we're not going to get that far, and I don't think that's a viable strategy to pursue because it takes too long for it to become fun. We're not going to want to look at that. So let's go ahead and go with what we have here. These two, we'll go ahead and look at the 3-year-old too, see how that auction goes. And I do like to participate in the auctions. That's probably my favorite part of the game in a way.
This is the kind of pedigree that
they did this really well. I hope you can hear him.
Strong value here. Who's bidding? Well, our bidder isn't backing down.
And we're going to go, he's up to 500,000 already. This was in Encore Jazz. Yeah, we'll bid on him. I mean, it's just money, right?
Bring 'em on and don't be shy.
Don't tell my wife I said that.
We're gonna call it.
Okay.
That's the way to do it. A strong show of interest.
There we go. All right, I don't think I want to go to 900 though. So
all right, we got good interest. Let's advance. Will a bidder steps up with confidence. Any other takers? Come on. All right, now going twice. Sold and well bought. Second one.
There we go.
Oh, investors in greatness.
Okay.
Strong value here. Who's bidding? Who's gonna step up?
Let's see. This is Halo Paddock.
Strong
No, I'm sorry.
value
That's the
here.
leading
Who's
bidder.
bidding?
Pepsi Endearing. This is the one I kind of
Let's
wanted.
get a round
So we're
of
going to go ahead and go
applause
after
for
this
our
one.
Successful bidder. Strong value here. Who's bidding? A strong show of interest. They mean business.
Okay, I'm trying to work on the volume here a little bit.
Yeah, this could be yours, and let the bidding begin. Hey, come
One
on,
more
don't be
time.
shy.
$1 million.
And let's raise the stakes. Secure your legacy in racing history with this bid. Come on. 2 times.
I've never gotten to 2 times where I ended up losing the bid. So I'm going to assume, yep, there we go. We're getting that one.
Do I hear another for this champion line?
Okay, and then Jet Rocky Mountain. This is the 3-year-old. At least I think this is the 3-year-old, and the price is just rocketing up there, which is, I guess, to be expected. Oh, my raise is way higher than the minimum, isn't it? Hit that one. I guess 2 $1 million horses to start your stable isn't the worst thing, right?
Who's going to respond? Going twice. All in, all done, sold it. It's auction time.
All right. That should be the last one. And we will jump back in. I love how they put that together. Real auctioneer is doing the calls there. They recorded all of that. He has a lot of sayings, actually. I didn't get through all of them, I don't think, in my previous playthrough or when I was playing before. The very first one I got the first time I played the latest update was a new phrase he said. So that was kind of interesting. I got all 3 of those horses. I didn't realize I won the first one. I was trying to figure out what's going on with sound here. Hopefully it's a little better now. Okay, but one way or another, we're going to want to do something with these horses. Now that we have them, we should probably see about getting that staff. And if we come over here to the staff, we can see that they are now showing up as recommended. And I'm just going to have auto hire happen here. We have no employees, and now we have many employees. It hired 8 staff members for us. Now, hiring the staff members and then them actually getting assigned, I don't think that's happening quite as automatically as it could. Feels like I have to come in here and start assigning them. With that said, I have 2 trainers. Okay. I'm not sure why that is, but that's okay. And we will go with the jockey and we'll go with this. So what I'm getting at is it doesn't automatically assign them, I don't think. And I kind of felt like that's what it was supposed to do. So I don't know if that's just I'm not looking at it right or not allowing time to pass or what's happening there. But that could be something to pay attention to. We don't have anything for pedigree yet. We don't have to give it options just yet. I'm not quite sure if there is a barn nickname. So a nickname for the horse. I don't remember that before, but we can give him like Secretariat's name, it was officially Secretariat, but they called him Big Red. So we could change this to Lil Guy, or something like that. Gal, I guess. These are all mares, aren't they? So, you could do something like that. I'm not going to for this particular one, but there you have it. That's neat. You can give it blinkers, a halter, leg wraps. In some games, these things affect how the horse races, and I haven't seen where that's the case here. I don't know everything, so that might be something to eventually ask the developer. I just hadn't thought to do it yet. Ouch, you can put the horse down. I don't want to do that. And you can trade the horse. You can see the social about the horse. This is how well it gets along with various folks. And you probably want to make sure it gets along well with your jockey. You want to be kind of up there on the good chemistry side. If you're not, probably don't work with the horse. That's my thought. Okay, so we assigned all 3 of these to some training. And now if we go look here, I guess I didn't. I only did 2 of them. Okay, let's come out and go back in. Training. There we go. So now we get notes. We're just scratching the surface with this horse. There's so much more to unlock. The jockey says we're working on our partnership. They haven't raced yet, so... And then the stable hand is thriving. So the stable hand will kind of control the food and care. The trainer controls a few of the things here, specifically the focus and the effort. And then the jockey is the jockey. That all makes sense, I think. Yeah, okay, so next we're going to go to races, and we're going to schedule a couple of races. Now, interestingly enough, it shows you some that it recommends for this particular horse right off the bat on this quick registration screen, and you can you're more than welcome to just start clicking there and assigning them where you want. I like to go to this one, and you select a particular horse. Whoops, I went one too far though. And it shows you all the races that they could potentially compete in one screen. It's not every race for the year. This is going out about, looks like 3 months maybe. They do tend to be in order, not perfectly, but you can also, they have added a little symbol to say the horse is good or not good at this distance, or not really sure. So this horse likes, this is Jazz Encore, 15 furlongs, much longer races. Well, we don't have too many of those in the US, I don't think anymore. I'm not seeing any listed here that have other horses in it. We're also including empty races. If you go to an empty race, it just skips you forward. Nothing happens. The race is canceled, basically. So it doesn't tend to show those. I haven't seen how these get populated to know exactly if it's something where there's a 19, if it's empty, you can never come back to it or what. So we could go ahead and register in that 19 furlong race for this horse that likes 15 furlongs. We'll do that. And then we can also see if there's one earlier, like really soon, that's maybe 12 furlongs. So 3 months should be enough recovery time. Let's send Encore Jazz to this one as well. And what we will see is it will show that their expected condition is dropped way off because they had a race. But by the time we get to that other one, way down here, I think, there it is, should be almost 100% again. So that's just fine. We're good with that. And let's see. Jet Rocky Mountain. Let's see what we can do with this horse. They like 9 furlong races, and there are several of those. We're going to hide empty races. I forgot to put that back. I hope I didn't click on a 0 race there. Now that I think about it, I should have checked that. No, it looks like we had at least one that was good. This horse likes the 9 furlongs. We can also say just show preferred races. It'll only show the 9s. We can have it auto register, although it won't allow us to do that, probably because it can't right now. There aren't enough races for it to pick that. And we can otherwise select a race that we want to give this one a try in. So let's take a look at Jet Rocky Mountain. Modest speed, decent acceleration, stamina, the 9 furlongs. I mean, stamina is going to translate directly to the length of the race they like, it looks like to me. That has been my experience so far. We can assign a scout to maybe learn a little more about the horse quicker. And there you have that. Let's go ahead and go back. Not a lot of ability or potential right now. So not wanting to hit a really high graded race. Now, the type of race does give you some hint there, but the other thing is the entrance fee. We're going to go for a lower end entrance fee. So we're going to wait about a month to race this horse. I'm going to click that one there. Simply because she's not a strong horse in overall ability. This race, she'll be one of the lower end horses, is what it really is showing us here. This is kind of the assumed abilities. There you have it. And then let's go to Pepsi. Same thing here. Pepsi's only showing races that match their distance preference. As you can see, 12 furlongs is what it looks like they're going after. And I think we want to try to pick a race that's soon. So we'll go for this first race that's 1 week out. We'll give that one a try. And it looks like we could actually go ahead and book, maybe it'll be above 90% here in 2 months. The older the horse, the longer it takes to recover. We could do that. We'll go ahead and wait for now and see how that plays out. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break here and see if I can do any other adjustments on sound. So we will be right back in just a couple of minutes. I hope you'll hang around. And I do want to thank you for your time. If you don't feel you can do that, but it should just be a couple of minutes here. Thanks so much. Okay, and I think we're back. Here's hoping. Yeah, let's go ahead and get back to where we were here. So we had just signed up for some races, and I think we're going to jump up here and look at the emails that came in from doing that. So these are from when we actually purchased the horses. It gives us a little bit of a rundown on each of them that we grabbed in a notable six-figure transaction, et cetera, significant investment. So you kind of get an idea if you made a good deal or not, is kind of the way I look at this. The language, a notable six-figure transactions, found a new home, significant investment. So they're saying I spent a lot of money, demonstrates solid confidence in Jet Rocky Mountain's potential. This quality acquisition shows the stable's commitment to building competitive strength. Sometimes this message is a lot more positive and sometimes it's a little more negative. This doesn't strike me as being a terribly positive one. It doesn't like this horse much. With that said, it is a 2-star maximum, so I guess maybe I get that. Let's go take a look at what it says about Pepsi Endearing. Substantial price demonstrates the market's recognition of the horse's quality and potential. Again, kind of hard to read between the lines there without having a little more experience in the game, but there you have it. Significant investment will raise expectations. Yes, it will. And then this one is a notable six-figure transaction. Market recognition of its value. Hopefully that's a good thing, although it is a 2-star horse, so I'm not loving that. But that's all right. Wasn't doing this to be overly competitive in the long run. Really just want to have some fun tonight with this brand new game. So we're going to go ahead and jump to the next auction because that's what will be next. If one of those races was coming up and it was before the next auction, this would say next race instead of next auction. So we're going to go out a week. This is indeed the next auction. One thing I have not been clear on, there are 4 different breeds of horses. I've gone ahead and included all of them. And interestingly enough, they're all 4 in this auction. I do not know how to say it. I think it's Akolteke is a breed. It's from I guess Turkey is where those originate generally. We have the Arabians. No idea where those come from. The American Quarter Horse. Those either. No idea where those come from. And then Thoroughbreds. Now, I do know that a quarter horse is the way I understand it, a quarter horse is a quarter thoroughbred. So I don't know what happens if you breed a thoroughbred and a quarter horse in this particular game. I'm not sure what happens. I'm not even sure. I don't know. It's something to try. It's interesting to me. I do know that quarter horses tend to stand a little different than thoroughbreds. They tend to have, I believe they have a slightly shorter neck in general. Maybe not. I don't remember if that's a fact or if that was just something we kind of were noticing once. They do tend to run with their head down a little more, where thoroughbreds kind of are more lanky and stretchy. They kind of reaching, and a quarter horse kind of looks more like a work animal in my mind when I'm looking at them. In America, the quarter horses tend to do very short sprints, usually just the front end of a typical racetrack. They will just do the front stretch, like quarter mile kind of stuff, a few furlongs, and that's it. So again, a little bit different. I'm not quite sure how they're represented in this particular game. I'm happy to play with all of them. So there you have it. Let's see what we have here, though. We're going to click on max rating again. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get this quarter horse, actually. We're going to bid on Columbus Dusk. He is a colt, 2-year-old, and that kind of sums it up. The thoroughbred, Da Vinci Neptune, I love the name. If nothing else, I'm bidding on that horse because of the name. If you ever go to the races and you do not at least bet on one horse because you like its name, I just don't know what to say. That's not to say that's always a good plan, but you should do it at least once. $2 bet, there you have it. Let's see. There is a funny story in there, but we'll wait. We'll see if we have some time later to go over that. I'm going to just stick with those 2 for now. We're going to go ahead and participate in the auction. There he is again.
A strong show of interest.
He sounds like he could be a Missouri boy, if I'm being honest. He really, really does. Columbus Dusk. We're going to bid on that one. I'm going to go up to 750,000 with this one if I can. Up, way out of my league. So we're just going to skip the horse now.
So, congratulations.
And there you go.
Well, the moment you've been waiting for. This remarkable young runner is up for auction. Oh, a strong bloodline worth every dollar. Come on, come on,
Da
quick.
Vinci Neptune. Here we go. This
Yeah,
is the
let's
thoroughbred.
yours and let the bidding begin.
Going to go
That's
ahead
the way
and
to
bid.
do
We'll
it
bid
with
up a little
strong
higher on this
ranchers.
one.
They mean
I think it's
business.
getting to 900,000 though.
Sir,
That
a
might
bold
do
move
it
from
for
our
me.
bidder. Yes, sir, a bold move from our bidder.
That was me.
Can I get another bid?
One more. That's going to do it for
Strong
us.
value here. Who's bidding? Well, there goes the bid, and who's going to challenge? Come on, come on. Second call. Will
Second
anyone
call
be
almost
ready?
always wins it. There we go.
And we're all in, all done. That's all she wrote. The buyout option ends our bid.
The buyout option. Okay, that's a bug, I'm pretty sure. I noticed that before. One will say the buyout option, even though it wasn't the buyout, or there wasn't one. And the other one is it'll say the horse didn't meet the reserve, yet it still is something you got. So there you have it. We picked up the one horse, and that is great. So let's go and look at his training. We need to assign a trainer. Let's just keep things balanced for now. I don't really know a whole lot about the trainers. I should probably go pay attention to that. But again, we're just kind of kicking things around tonight and having some fun. There we go. Let's register him for some races, and then we are going to advance to some races. We can see that's coming up soon. So this one, we're going to do the same thing. Jump here and then go to Da Vinci. Not a lot of ability just yet in this horse, so we need to be mindful of that. It's a young'un, so it will probably only run in the juvenile races, and that's just fine. Looks like it likes 5 furlongs. And, okay, so one thing I want to double check. This was a thoroughbred, right? Yep, okay. So he is a thoroughbred. He currently likes the 5 furlong races. Well, that's okay. We'll find something short, which is going to be either 4 or 7. Let's go with this 4. That's a high entry fee for not much prize money. Because this is going to be, your good winner will take about half of that pot. So that feels a little high. We're going to go ahead and do it. I wouldn't make a habit of that, though. You tend to want a little bit more money on your return because, particularly with a 1-star horse, you just don't know what's going to happen there. Not even a 1-star, he's a half-star. Okay, let's go back to the main screen. I do think this screen helps quite a bit for how I play. I'm able to see right here when they last raced, when their next race is, and we have a couple today. Look at that. And I kind of manage the game from here then. So when it starts saying none scheduled for next race, I know to come over here and start adding some races. Let's see. The race is foggy. Click twice to remove from this event. Okay, so I guess if the horse isn't going to do well in fog, we might want to remove them instead of racing them because we could maybe pick up something else in the very near future. We're not going to scratch any of them, though. We're going to go ahead and go forward. So let's go to race. This is our race screen for a typical race. Now, in this particular one, we don't have a horse. Our horse will have a little icon after it so that we can call him out pretty quickly. But the other thing you can do is right up here, if it is a race where you have a horse, the first option here will be view race. The second one will be take reins. So since we don't see take reins, we know that we don't have a horse in this one. Instead, we can skip to our race, which is 3 races from now. There we go. And we are now in our race, and you can see view, take reins. If there's more than one horse of yours in it, you can pick which one you're going to control. I am not going to control him. I'm going to let the jockey do it. This is a little bit of a bug. She's riding 2 horses here. I don't think that typically works. So I could take the reins of one of them. I'm just not that good at it. So I think I just want to let it go and see what happens here. So these are mares. These are going to be a little bit older horses. And it's going to be a 12 furlong race. That's a 1.5 miles if you're in the U.S. Well, okay, actually it's a 1.5 miles no matter where you are. But if those are the units you're used to hearing, that's what it's going to be. And that would be about a 2.5 kilometer, 250 meter, 2,500 meter race. I think probably where that math works out. Let's go ahead and just view the race and have fun watching it this time. I'm going to go ahead and click on Pepsi. That's the horse we'll be focused on. And let's see what happens here. Not a good start. And our other horse is Encore. Jazz Encore, he's 7th right now. We can click on him here. So horse 2 and horse 7 are ours. We're not riding really well just yet. And then you can kind of tell how a race is going to go. You hover over your horse, it shows their remaining stamina. And then you look at the horses around you. Well, they're going to pass him. He doesn't have any left. He doesn't have any left. So Encore Jazz might not end up doing horrible. Pepsi Endearing is not going to do well in this race. In fact, already sitting up. They're all sitting up. Come on, guys. So we can speed up the race. And we'll see a lot of this sitting up and then getting back to going. And they'll actually slow almost to a complete stop at times. So he seems to be kind of picking up some, doesn't he? Well, he's still in 12th, though. So I guess he's not doing quite what I thought he was. And horses are finishing now, so these all change to finished, and we are still, well, we're still 2.5 furlongs, more than a quarter of a mile out. So, yeah, not a terribly competitive race this time. Let's see where we end up. We're up to 9th. Looks like we're going to make it to at least 8th. 7th, maybe? Nope, still 9th. Interesting. I really thought it showed us moving forward there. Nonetheless, 9th and 10th. We won $0 at this race. Now, here's one of the places where it's optimized a lot better. I hit continue, and we continue. Before, it was a wait. And so that's really good to see. They've got some optimization they've been able to toss in there to help with that. So this race paid out $45,000 to the winner. And that's fantastic. We can also read about how our horses did. Encore Jazz finishing in 9th. The trainer said, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the trainer. Very disappointing performance. Had some trouble in running. Needs to find an easier spot next time. And the jockey said difficult trip. Had a clear run throughout. Finished with a strong rally. Okay, that's good. Pepsi Endearing. We'll need to reassess Pepsi Endearing's poor showing. Yeah. Makes sense. The jockey, Pepsi Endearing, met with interference. Had a clear run throughout. Okay, well, I think interference and clear run are opposites, aren't they? But, okay, maybe I'm not interpreting that right. That's okay. We'll move on. And as we can see, we have another race today where we have horses. As it says, skip all races. I'm sorry, we do not have another race today. It would say skip to our race. And then the number of races. There's 2 races left today. We click this and that will end the day for us. We can see some emails on what happened there. 9th place for Encore Jazz and 10th place for Pepsi. Doesn't talk about Pepsi there, does it? We will delete that one. And this is where we purchased Da Vinci Neptune. That happened today as well. There you have it. We're going to go to the next auction. So that's 6 days out, and there we have it. These are yearlings. Okay. Well, they're all expensive, even the one that's kind of maxing out at 2. We can take a look at each of these. And let's come back here. I like looking at it from this screen. I went a little too crazy there. So this horse kind of bottoming out on all of the factors that make them fast. Intelligence is important. Temperament is important. Health risk, obvious what that one does for you. But really, you know, an extremely slow horse that's very smart and easy to work with isn't going to beat an extremely fast horse on a regular basis. So that's just something to consider. This is Falsetto. So let's go to the middle one. About the same. A little bit of moving around there with the numbers. And then finally, Kraken. And considering they have $1 million buyout and a $500,000 reserve, their upside is not that much more up than that guy. In fact, from a speed perspective, they're the same. Less in acceleration, more strength, at least as the top side possibility. Health risk much lower, temperament better, intelligence is more moderate. So there you have it. And I think this is how much knowledge we have on any of these horses. So did we assign a scout or not. We have not. Okay, there we have it. Well, honestly, I'm not sure I'm going to bid on any of these. I guess it won't hurt to have at least one yearling in the stable, and we can kind of see how that plays out. So we'll go ahead and we'll click on these two. I don't want to spend too much on them. We do have $10 million still, so I guess we're not exactly hurting, right?
Oh, greatness is before you.
Greatness is before
Hey,
us.
you just need a little more, and who's got it? Can you give a round of applause for our successful bidder? Yep.
Yes,
Thanks
yes
for
we
rising.
can. We'll do
Who's
the
feeling
8,000
lucky?
raise.
Yeah, get that hand up and let's see it. Come on. Hey, and a
Probably go
little
up at
more,
least
and
one
who's
more
got it?
time
Come
is my
on,
guess.
come on. Well, the moment you've been waiting for. This remarkable young runner
Maybe
is
not.
up for auction. Second call, anyone advancing.
Ah,
Once more.
somebody
once
did.
more,
There we go.
anybody, anywhere.
Oh, we're up to $1 million?
Yeah, we got a new
Ouch, I
bid.
didn't mean to do
We'll
that.
step into history
All right.
here today. Come on, quick. We got movement on the floor. Who'll respond?
We're going to go ahead
Yeah,
and let
let's
them have
get
that one.
theirs and let the
There
bid-
you go.
And sold. Well done. Hey, a bargain's awaiting.
Doesn't have a cowboy hat on this time.
And this represents the pinnacle of quality. Come on. going
Okay,
twice.
falsetto composition.
We got movement on the floor.
We will
Who'll
raise
respond?
already up to $1
Come on,
million
come
as
on,
well.
let's go.
Wow.
Strong value here. Who's bidding?
Oh, why
Come on,
not?
going twice. Final opportunity. You better get in. You better come on. Come on, let's not slow it down now. Going twice.
I just love listening to him.
So, congratulations. Bid two.
All right. One more horse in our stable. Let's see what that's going to look like. It's a filly. Okay, currently weighs 770 pounds. All right, we're going to go to training. Let's go ahead and give this one to Narissa. Same jockey. We're probably going to have to hire another jockey soon. And the stable hand. We're going to have to hire another stable hand soon. Let's see if they actually talk about that with us. Nope, they don't have us hiring anybody. We can do that, though, on our own. Let's go ahead and take a look. We will come over here and go to hiring. We will say show only unemployed. So we will only see unemployed folks here. And then we're going to click on stable hand. Well, there is a really decent stable hand here. Prefers to be a farrier. Okay, but we can see if we can maybe talk them into being our stable hand. So we'll say work and that we want to negotiate for stable hand. And we hit this and they're willing to work for us for about 100,000. Well, we'll go ahead and do that. So we're going to say base salary, and then I'm going to literally just type in, you know what, we're going to do 90,000, which is a little lower than what they were hoping for. But you'll notice that we have a 78% chance of signing them with that. Then we're going to also offer them a performance bonus of 10,000. And we basically get to decide if they get that or not. But 90% chance they'll hire with us now. There we go, success. We're going to go back to the stable. Going to go ahead and open up that yearling and go to training, and we will reassign to Davina. There you have it. Other than that, go back to the default home screen. Next race, we don't have one for Pepsi and we don't have one for Falsetto. Let's see if we can get Falsetto a race. We'll go to races. I don't know if a yearling will race in this particular game. No, they don't even list it here. They're not even listed here. That's how I'm trying to talk. Show only eligible, show all. Oh, they are listed. Good heavens, I blew right by them, but I don't think, yeah, they're outside the age limit. Okay, that's what I thought I was going to see. They don't have the ability to be registered for a race. Somehow I thought I had 6 horses and they weren't showing up. So we can list only the ones that are eligible to race, and that would be fine. Or we can, go ahead and keep everybody, but we just have to keep this in mind. If a horse becomes pregnant, they will not race anymore. Therefore, you do want to kind of pay attention to that, but it also tells you no suitable races or ineligible or something like that as needed. So unable, but I'm sorry, that's this one. Da Vinci, there we go. Da Vinci has all sorts of races available, including one tomorrow. It's a little long for them, but you know what? Let's do it. Oh, that's another really expensive race. We're going to go ahead and do it. So they're going to get their opportunity tomorrow. We do have this go to auction next. That's interesting. We just registered that. Let's go home. That's the horse we just purchased. We'll delete that. Go to the auction. It's another auction today. I guess we missed that. Apparently I signed up for 2 on the same day. Not unheard of. Nothing wrong with that. We can go to 2 auctions. But I think I'm okay with the horses I have right now. These are all stallions though, but they are all quarter horses also. I don't know. Tough decision there. I wish you could see although I guess it doesn't tell you exactly, but I wish you could kind of have an idea of the distance that they're wanting to run when you click through here. Wish it was on this screen. But it does make sense that you have to do some interpretation there. So I guess that's why it's set up the way it is. We're going to go ahead and skip the auction. I think I'm okay with who I have right now. And let's go ahead and say next auction. That is today. Was this the same horses? No. Not the same horses. Different breeds. So different setup here. Some of the names are feeling familiar though. So I just want to be kind of careful that I'm not overthinking this. This horse has a pretty low buyout. We're going to go ahead and skip this one as well. Let's get to some more racing. There we go. Next race. We're going to jump forward to that. Wow, that was fast. So skip all races, or did I really just do that? I did. I skipped all the races. Da Vinci Neptune. It was his race. Yes, we just signed up for that. I apologize. I totally missed that, but he did not do well. I think I misread that screen. Still having the eye problem going on here. So, yeah, that's something I need to be a little bit mindful of. We can go look at him and see what his past results are. Not great. Finished outside the top 10. Well, in position 14. We can click on it and see how it went. His time was almost a minute slower than everybody else. Yeah, that's not good at all. Not good at all. With that said, there could be other factors there that we just don't know about. So we'll see what happens next. All right, next message. We're going to go ahead and delete this one and jump forward to the next race. That's in 4 weeks. So maybe we're not going to wait for all 4 weeks to go by. Let's see what else we can do here. Jump in here and see if there's any upcoming races that we might want to jump on outside the age limit. These guys, so still waiting 2 months on this one. Let's see. Whoops, too many. Let's see if there's something they can jump in now that doesn't jeopardize that one. Oh, it's in 2 weeks now, though. I'm on the wrong horse. I thought it was... Encore Jazz is the horse we wanted. There we go. So we do something soon. It should not impact them in 2 months, at least not too badly. They like 15 furlong races. Let's see how they do in a 12. So we'll select that, and let's just make sure we're not totally wrecking. They'll be at 95%. I think that's acceptable. So we'll go ahead and hang on to that. So Encore Jazz's next race is in 5 days. We also have Pepsi Endearing, who no longer has a race. Let's see if we can get them in one. Preferred races, 12 furlongs. Hey, there's another one of those in 5 days. Might be the same race. Let's go for it. Pepsi Endearing should be doing pretty well. So we'll stick with that. We'll go back to the home here. Next race. There it is, 5 days. We're now looking at the next race. I hit the skip races thinking that, yeah, I totally messed that up last time. I want to skip to my race. There we go. This is our race. We have 2 horses in it. We're going to watch Pepsi this time. Temperament is serene. Okay, and real quick, the odds, I think the odds are supposed to be modifiable, but I haven't seen where, was it localization? I haven't seen where it does what I would expect. And that is when you come down to odds, implied probability, American money line. Okay, I did have it on the wrong setting there. Let's see. We probably want to wait a race, not make any assumptions here. When the odds are listed like this, lower numbers are better. That means that horse is more favored. Encore Jazz looks like the favorite. Now, one thing we could do is do some betting on Encore Jazz. Click them here. Let's see, how do we do this again? I think you highlight the horse. Nope, that's not happening. I think you got messed up here. Now, we will do a bet. Yeah, it's not seeing how do I, okay, personal account is fine. I want to select Encore Jazz. I'm sorry, yeah, Encore Jazz. It's not working for me here. There we go. All right, I just had to click over further. Now it's showing up there, Encore Jazz, race number 6. We're going to do to show. I guess it's actually going to do both, is what that is. So we could do across the board. It'll do all 3. Let's dumb that down. We'll make this we will bet $2,500 on each of those. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to submit. No bets to submit. What did I miss? Okay. This isn't working how I thought it was working before. It truly felt a lot easier than this. Is that what I want to hit? Nope. Is it add? There it is. Okay, my bad. So, just missed a step there. I was thinking it was add 2,500 more to the bet you were making. That's not what it's doing. It's adding the bet. So we're betting at 2,500 for a win, a place, and a show each, which totals 7,500. That's what we want to do. That's what it's going to do. Race 6. We're expecting a winner in number 14, a place in number 14, or a show in number 14, and we get different amounts back if that were to happen. Now, across the board bet, if the horse wins, you get paid out on all 3. If they place, you get the place in the show, and if they only show, you're losing money, but you get something back. If none of those happen, you've lost more money. There you have it. There's the bet. It is placed. Let's watch the race, and let's root for Encore Jazz. There it is. Pepsi Endearing is number 2, so we'll want to watch out for them as well. And they had a pretty decent start. 14's right there in the middle. How's 14 looking? Kind of burning it. Yeah, they're probably not going to have the race of their lives. I don't know if there's any attenuation or not, but the stadium announcer, he is audible. You can hear him, what he's saying, the words he's using, but this is basically the closed caption of it right here. All right, where are we? Pepsi Endearing is not doing well at all. Encore Jazz is moving up. We'll see what happens. Race isn't even half over. We're going to go ahead and hit fast. Races do take a little longer than I would like. And wow, we just fell way off. Now in 11th. Not pretty. Okay, I might want to check on my jockey. I might not have the best jockey. That can be a factor. Might need to find somebody who has a little bit better presence with my horses. That's a possibility as well. There's my 2 horses. They finished next to each other, 7th and 8th, but not good enough to get any bets won. Not good enough to get any money either. And we'll continue, and shaboom, that fast. Here's all the bets I lost. And here's the position of all the horses, including mine. At least their times were close, right? So they weren't 2 minutes off of the pace. They were only about 30 seconds off the pace. And the horse that came in last was about 10 seconds behind them. So, all right, moving on. Skip all races will take us to the end of the racing day. We're going to do that. And that'll take us back to home. There it is. And notifications. Basically just telling us what we saw happen today. So we'll go to the next message. That takes us to the email. We're going to delete that, let them rest up a little bit. So it's okay when these are both, today and there's no races coming up when it was just today. Interestingly, Encore Jazz does have a win in their past 3 races. There you have it. So I might just need to pick better. Oh, I was going to look at the jockey. Let's do that real quick. Let's come in here, look at our staff, look at our jockey. Okay, well, I did see something there. Proficient jockey, but when we were on this screen, their skill is very low. We're not paying them a lot either. The jockeys tend to get paid a lot of money in this game. We're going to see about hiring a better jockey. So we're okay with the unemployed jockeys. Usually you can find somebody. There we go. Josephine Cabrera, 65%. Now she's probably going to cost like $300,000 a year. What are we looking at, Josephine? Whoa, I was way off. $700,000 a year. Comes down to, do we do that and then see if the jockey is that big of a factor? Or do we go, no, we're not paying you that. We can fire them. We do have to pay a penalty if we fire them. I think for the sake of learning the game, we're going to go ahead and do it. $700,000 gives us an 82% chance of hiring them. We'll give them $4,000 for insurance. And we will give them a small sign-on bonus, $10,000, which really didn't impact anything. But we'll do it anyway. Success, we hired them. Awesome. Let's look at our upcoming races. And days until next race. Jet Rocky Mountain in a week. I think the jockey is already determined. Let's see if we can change that. We can. We're going to change that one to Josephine. Let's see what happens. We won't know until we try. That's in a week. We have Da Vinci Neptune in 3 weeks. Take a look at that one too. That's the race. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing. Josephine. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the next race and see if we have a better outcome with a different jockey. Not the same horse. Hard to make a, direct comparison, but it should give us an idea of what's going on here. Yesterday's bets. Well, these weren't my bets, though. I don't think. Oh, yes, they were. These were bets that I had placed, and yeah, none of them came through. So I wonder, I've been curious about this. Account other and account personal. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if somebody is investing in bets for me. I don't know. It feels like it's telling me these bets occurred. I didn't place them. At least I didn't think I did. So might want to watch that more closely in the future. We're going to delete that. We're going to go to the race. And view race, sim race, skip to my race. This is Jet Rocky Mountain. Their form, they finished 6th in their last race, so not too terribly bad. Different jockey this time. Let's see what happens. We're going to watch it. Number 3. We want number 3 to win. Come on, number 3. Last out of the gate. Usually not a good sign. Yeah, not a good sign. I'm just not good at picking good horses, folks. Okay. We're way off the pace there. We're 2 furlongs behind the leader. And falling 3 furlongs now. So we're talking a roughly 9 or 10 furlong race, right? And we were at one point like 5 furlongs behind. I don't know. That doesn't quite seem. I think they need to work on that. I think they need to work on that in their algorithm. Competitive horse race, I don't think we would expect to see, a horse coming in twice the speed, half the speed as of the winner. It's not to say it can't happen, but that just seems pretty large difference there. So, nonetheless, okay. Well, the jockey didn't help. Jockey didn't help at all. So we might want to look at some other factors in the future, but I think for now, we're just going to kind of push through. We will go to our email and see, yeah, you did really, really poorly. I think we're 20 seconds behind the horse in front of us. I hope that it's not just me. It was a 10 furlong race. My horse was 5 furlongs into the race when the winner crossed the line. So there you have it. Okay, moving on. What else can we do? You know what? We haven't tried breeding horses yet. And we could maybe start to try to do that. I probably would rather wait until I've kind of gotten a couple races under my belt. Let's go ahead and wait just a little longer on that. But you know what? We could go over to scouting all of our house. No, these aren't our horses, are they? These are different horses and the amount of knowledge we know about them. Our scout has a 17.7 skill. We could try hiring another one. That might have to do with how many horses they're actually looking at. Maybe not, although I just removed one. I wish I hadn't done that. It will reschedule them, I'm sure, if it needs to. So let's come over here. Back to the main screen. Falsetto is not eligible to race. Everybody else has a race or raced today. We could go and look at Jet Rocky Mountain and see if we have upcoming races. Can we actually? We cannot. We have to go to races, registration, Jet Rocky Mountain. Then maybe we can make a decision there. Best it gets is 98%. Hey, look at that. It's a race that they would like to participate in. Big purse. Let's do that. And we're going to go with Josephine as the jockey again. If for no other reason than Josephine is simply the better jockey. If we come look here, go to staff, and just look at our jockeys. She is a 4.5 star jockey. She is a half-star jockey. So there you have it. Going home, going to the next race, which is in 2 weeks. There we go. Uh-oh. One of our stable hands quit. This happens. Was this the guy who was wanted to be was a farrier? Best known for experienced stable hand. Well, that sucks. You don't like losing your experienced stable hands. Did he go work somewhere else? Sometimes you can hire them right back, which is a little weird, but I guess it happens, right? Can we see when his end date? Oh, his end date was 2/17 with us. So technically we could renegotiate with him and he might be willing to come back. He's looking for yearly compensation in the $6,000 range. I bet we can make him come back. Let's offer him $15,000 a year. He'll come back. There he is. I don't know, $6,000 a year for somebody working 5 horses. That didn't seem right. So let's make this right, though. We have to go through here and... Okay, I thought I hit... Okay, something is wrong there. Oh, no, it's not. There we go. Fergus. That's right, we had 2 stable hands, didn't we? He was the better of the 2, though, if I recall. So he wasn't working 5 horses, though. He was only working 3, it looks like. Maybe 4. We'll give him 3 now. And we're going to go ahead and go to the race. Here we go. Not our race. We need to skip 5 races to get there. I did it again. I'm not sure how I did it, but I didn't see it there. All right, my bad. Da Vinci Neptune, 13th out of, I'm going to guess 13. Yeah. Least not grossly out of the race here, but not making a name for itself. Like I said, I'm not really good at picking the winners. I had kind of gotten to where I was getting some traction there before, but yeah, not happening here. So that's all right. We're going to continue forward. More races. Is that what's up next? Yep. We can go back to the market too. Maybe we want to go ahead and look. Well, you know what? Let's look at the facilities real quick. Maybe I should go ahead and buy a couple of more extra stables here. I don't know. When you run out of space. I don't know when if it tells you when you run out of space. I'm not sure what happens there. So we don't need the security system. We have the staff office. I think we're okay there. We could buy those. Feed. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to go ahead and go to the race. Uh-oh. So here's an alert that somebody is trying to steal one of our folks. They're trying to steal Josephine. Well, the joke's on them. We didn't like Josephine all that much, did we? Okay, so here's what we can do. We're going to look at this one first of all. This was the guy who left, and then we hired him back. No longer with the stable. I don't know if he left again. Nonetheless. So 3 weeks ago, they were trying to poach Josephine from us. Put pressure on your budget. Big offer puts pressure on your budget. Match it or lose a good staff member. Well, we weren't loving what Josephine was doing, were we? We can come over here. Did she leave already? She's still with us? Looks like she's still with us. Oh, no, Josephine's the good one. Oh, we don't want to lose Josephine. So we can fire her. It would cost us money. Certainly don't want to do that. So what I'm not seeing that I have seen before is when you click on these emails, like this one, there is a little button down here to counteroffer. And I'm not seeing that this time around. I'm not seeing it here. It does seem to give everybody their doctorate. I've noticed that. Everybody's Dr. Josephine. If you flip through your workers, they're all doctors. You're a doctor also. And that might be the case. I am not a doctor. I do not play one on television, and so that's kind of weird to me. But if I look here, oh, it's not saying it here. That's interesting. But I have seen it where it had said Dr. Chad. So anyway, yeah, slight friction with Alex Morse. All right. Is Alex on my staff? He is not. Whoops. Sorry about that. Heavy fingers there. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and run this race. Oh. We skipped that race, didn't we? Yeah, I messed that up. So let's go to races and see what we can register. Nothing scheduled for a bunch of these guys. We want to make sure that that isn't the standard. Let's start with Pepsi. They're our most promising. And one too many clicks again. But let's get them into this one right here. So my thought is it's a little bit less quality. It's got a pretty decent payout though. So we're going to go to that one for Pepsi. We're going to go with Encore Jazz. Hasn't raced in a bit. We could do the same race. I don't think I'm going to do that this time. You know what? I did not even look. Was that a race that, yeah, 9 furlongs is okay with them. Oh, they prefer 12 though. So we could go 2 weeks and do a 12. Let's do that instead. And And instead, I'm also going to go with Josephine. Okay, that was Pepsi. Down to Neptune. Too far. Neptune likes the 5 furlongs, so let's go ahead and do the 4. That's in 3 weeks. We'll go ahead and go with Cordelia there. Up to the top with Encore. Preferring a longer race. Only seeing the 12s, so we'll go ahead and do the next 12 in 2 weeks. And let's go ahead and say Josephine again. Outside age limit, Jet Rocky Mountain, last one we can do. 9 furlong races. Well, we got one of those coming up here in a couple of days. Is this one we already had a horse in? I think it is. Or is it that one? It was that one. We're going to try this one. And we're going to do Josephine in that one as well. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to jump to the next race. Only 6 days instead of, like, what was it, 42? Okay, so this time I see skip to my race. That's what I want to see. There we go. This is the Rocky Mountain race with Josephine. Very good. Let's just... What did I miss? View race? Yep. View race, take reins, sim race. We're going to view it. Viewing the race. Come on, Rocky Mountain. 10 furlongs, roughly. Slow out of the gate again. And tearing it up. Already to 74. Yeah, you see, now might pass some of these that are a little further down the chain there, but not great. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and speed that up. It's no fun watching them just run on their own, is it? Or trot on their own. He should really catch some of these guys, though. That was disgraceful. Up, horses are finishing. Once they start finishing, this chart gets a little difficult. You'll notice they pop on and off. And anyway, that's all right. Well, we're going to be last again. Okay. I checked the quality of my trainers. I never really even paid attention to that. I don't like to blame the trainers. I think the jockey has a much bigger hand in how things go. But we have a really good jockey now, so I don't know what to say to that. We're going to go ahead and continue. We're going to go to the message, which says you came in last again, pal. And we grossly came in last. Once again, about half the speed of the first horse. Yeah. Not liking that. Let's take a quick look at the stable. And I want to reassign the jockey. Okay, first of all, oh, we did lose the stable hand again. That wasn't an accident. Okay, that isn't helping, that's for sure. So let's go to the top. Okay, we need to reassign this. And then we're going to also reassign the jockey in all 5 horses. So it's going to be Josephine, and we have the stable hand assigned there. Josephine. Josephine and Davina. Josephine. That should do it. Okay, that's all of them. And as we come back through here, we should see that most of them are getting, our relationship is professional, but not particularly close yet. Okay, well, that's, hopefully that improves. That's Falsetto. Let's see what it is with Pepsi, which is our best horse. I can work with Pepsi, though we haven't found our rhythm yet. What a joy to work with Pepsi. They're in peak condition and loving life. Training won't help Pepsi. Endearing at 6 years old. They're in the twilight of their career. Let's try the other trainer. Might say the same thing. Training won't help. Yep. Consider breeding or retirement. Okay, well, we can do that. Now, you can, at some point, you can have your horses, you can stud out your male horses. I don't remember how that worked or if I figured it out before. not going to worry about it too much right this second, but we can go to breed here, and we can, again, this shows us all sorts of stuff. We only want to look at mares. We only want to look at our stable. It says no horses available. That's interesting. Let's go to table. Pepsi Endearing. 4.5 stars. Let's take a look. No valid horses found. Huh. Oh, breed. I bet it is the breed. Arabian. Okay. Well, I would think we'd have the opportunity. There we go. Okay. Well, no. See, it isn't a breed issue here. All right. That I don't fully understand, but it's okay. So, Pepsi Endearing is Arabian. Why don't we go ahead and stick with Arabians then? And you do not sort on that. So let's see what we have here. Here's a 4. They only want $10,000 in breeding fees. Now you do pay for the breeding, and it won't necessarily be successful is the other thing to know. But with a 3.5 star horse and a 3.5 star horse, we should end up with relatively close to a 3.5 star horse. 62% chance of success. Let's do it. And it was successful. We will have a foal at the beginning of next year, basically. So what that's telling us. But what we will see when we go to races is now Pepsi is pregnant. Race status pregnant. So they're not eligible anymore. And that's okay. We knew that was coming. So let's see how that plays out. In the meantime, let's go to the next race. 7 days away. Skip to my race. Got it right that time. Okay, Encore Jazz. Really not expecting a lot from these horses. I need to get to another auction and buy a younger horse that's a little stronger and then see what we get. But I do like watching them. It can be exciting when your horse is actually competitive. So, come on, number 5. Oh, there we go. So what I like to do is peek there, 82, and they're at 86. They're probably going to win. They're probably going to come in second, but we're going to be right behind them. These are all falling way off. So we should finish second or third. Now, I don't know that that's a science. I don't know, that's the only way to tell who's going to win. But it does tend to be a pretty good indicator. And here we go. He's starting to pull away. You can see it just tick away here. And just pulling away there and staying paced with the leader. That's good. So every once in a while, I have seen where the leader will fade. And as you can see, we're kind of on the, they finished, we finished. But we were second. Yay, we finally got a good finish. There we have it. We will hit continue here. Okay. Solid effort from Encore Jazz today. We'll look forward to another suitables race soon. Encore Jazz felt comfortable under me, had a clear run throughout, maintained position. Okay. Broke alertly. They did. They were out of the gate right away. That was good to see. And picked up $25,000 for us. We'll take it. We will skip the rest of the races. And there we go. Okay. Over to the inbox. And just shows the results from that. Let's see about heading to another auction. Feel like we could stand a more powerful horse. Let's go to this one in 2 weeks. Yeah, I think that. Well, we'll go to this one next week. And we'll take a look closer at the horses once we get there. But there we go. Okay, today's races. We're in the first race. It's Da Vinci. Finally going to get to see Da Vinci run. Okay, we have Cordelia Flowers still as the jockey. That's fine. We can't change it at this point anyway. I could try taking the reins. I don't do well, but I can show off how this actually works. I guess that maybe that's a thought. Whoa, what did I hit there? I must have hit M for market. I don't know what I hit. Let's go back to the race and we're going to hit take reins. Now I like to click on DaVinci here and then I'm ready to go on my arrow keys. And as soon as the clock starts, I start accelerating. And there we go. And then you want to balance that white bar and yellow bar is the idea. And I'm actually doing okay so far. So I want to speed up and bring that white bar down towards the yellow bar. And then when it's starting to close a little too much, I will flip that. I'll start to slow down some. With that said, right now we're doing just fine. Yeah, we're going to have a good finish here. I can't go any faster. And I think we're going to run out of race before we run out of endurance. So I feel like we're creeping up on them. It'd be great if they just fade right now. Didn't. But we got a second place. That's good. Liking the second place. Liking that a lot. Okay. Continue, and again, right out of there. It's great. Not a lot of prize money in this one. Juvenile races don't tend to pay a lot. We got $5,000 back. So we'll take that, and very pleased with it. Traveled beautifully throughout. Yeah, we had a good run. Very good. We're going to hit continue. No more races for us today, so we're just going to skip ahead. And, yep, there's our second place finish. And we have an auction coming up. Or is that today? Looks like a top tier auction. There we go. Let's go to it. So we're starting to see horses that have named parents, which means that probably, yeah, these horses were born at the beginning of the year and their parents are still in the game is what that kind of is telling me. And that's okay. We can certainly take one of those. We don't have a facility for foals, and that's something we're going to need to get because we have one coming. Where are we in the year? It is April 27th. I know that date. Okay, let's see. We'll take a look at, let's see if we can find a 4-year-old. 4-year-old male, Princess Blaze, but it's a stallion. So the naming doesn't always really nail it, but that's okay. I don't know if I want to, yeah. We could do the 6-year, well, they were saying 6-year-olds are kind of over their prime, weren't they? So, yeah, let's bid on Princess. We might change their name. So participate in the auction. We can take a quick look and see what we'd be getting. Good speed on that horse. Actually, lots of high end on this one. Even if the speed is at its worst, we're still at a pretty fast horse. I think we're going to do our best to pick this one up. Not to go up to like $1 million immediately.
Shrewd move. Bidding war ends with a buyout. Oh, our bidder isn't backing down. He's going to go again.
Yes, I am.
Movement on the floor. Who'll respond? Will a bidder steps up with confidence? Any other takers? Come on.
We're going to bump it like by 50,000 this time.
Oh, come on. Let's not slow it
they
down.
did too.
Yeah, this could be yours, and let the bidding begin. Hey, how about another bid? And the bidding's active. Who's next? Once? Any more bids? Yep. New bid on the
Oh, there's one. Didn't say twice though, did he?
Folks, it's all over. Someone stops the auction with a buy.
I didn't realize there was a buyout price. So, okay, I missed that. I missed that. Nonetheless, got the horse I wanted. Next message, next auction. That's going to be in 2 weeks. Nope, we don't want to do that. We want to go to, well, we want to see our new horse. Delete that one. Match it or lose a good staff member. Well, again, I'm not seeing where I have the ability to match it. Like I said, in the past, I had seen a button that would say, hey, match it. Social, statistics isn't ready yet. Training isn't ready yet. Work. Manager is upset with you. Okay, I don't know that that's the case. Thought they were doing pretty good, weren't they? That's Josephine. We have an excellent chemistry, a good friendship. I don't know what the manager is upset with you is, so not going to worry about that too much. But I'm not seeing any way to match that offer that they received. And I'm certainly not going to fire them to find out that doesn't do it, right? So we're just going to stick with what we got here. And we're going to go back to the horses. We're going to find the new horsey, Princess. I think we're going to change it to Prince. So we're going to come in here to options. We're going to change that to Prince. Got to spell things right, though. There we go. Change the name. From there, training. We'll go with Klaus. We're going to go with Josephine. Hopefully she hangs around. Now we are out of stable hands. We're going to want to buy another stable. We're going to want to hire. Sorry about that, folks. Hire another stable hand. And we could just do an auto hire. I'm going to go ahead and try to do it manually. Show only unemployed. Stable hands. We've seen how good I am at this, right? Work. Stable hand. Negotiate. 104 to 115. Yeah, that other guy we paid $15,000. He only wanted $4 and he took off anyway. Oh, well. All right. Base salary. We're going to go ahead and offer them 100. Actually, let's offer them. Yeah, we'll offer them 100. There we go. 79% chance they'll take the deal. They took the deal. That is great. Back to Prince and his training, and his stable hand will now be Paola. Not Paola. Paola. There we go. Paola Burton. There it is. And that looks good. We're going to go to races. We're going to register Prince for a race. Wow, as soon as 1 week. Don't know if we want to quite do that. He likes the 12 furlong races. 11 furlongs, yep. Not yet sure what the new item here, LESI. I think initially I thought it was S was short, L is long, and I was intermediate. Maybe E is extreme. I guess that could be. I'm also not sure why you have the letter designation if you also have the specific number. So that doesn't fully line up in my head. It's real estate you're using that you don't have to. Don't tend to like to do that. Nonetheless, we could put him in a race where he should do really well. Let's make sure I'm on the right horse again. There we go. We could put him in a race where he should do really well. There's not a lot of competition, but also there's not a lot of prize money. We can put him one with a lot of competition. I think we want to kind of hit the middle of the road there. Well, let's go ahead and go with this one in 2 weeks. There it is. Josephine. Josephine has too many horses assigned now, but that's all right. We'll get that fixed. Let's see if Neptune, who doesn't have any more races scheduled, well, we don't have any great races for Neptune. Here's one at 89%. We could put Cordelia on them. We'll do that one. Outside age range. This is the only other horse that is eligible. Preferred races only. We could do this. Should be competitive. We will go for it. Let's go back to the stable. And let's take a look at the jockey on a few of these. I think Pepsi Endearing, being pregnant, probably doesn't need a jockey right now. That should help. I would say with them being pregnant, we should minimally do high quality food and premium healthcare. But we'll, I guess, let Davina decide going forward. I'm going to go ahead and set that. We'll come back to it later and see if it changes. Their focus is wellness. That makes sense. Falsetto doesn't race, so wellness makes sense. I do see that the current focus is almost always balanced, despite who the trainer is or who the horse is. Wellness is clearly popping up there for horses that are young and pregnant. Those two categories. Otherwise, it always seems to be wellness. So something to consider. Might need to adjust that on your own a little bit. Let's go ahead, go home. We'll go to the next auction. We intended to go to one of those. Here is a 3-year-old colt with some talent, not going crazy though. Might be able to get him for a deal. We'll bid on that horse, participate in the auction. Maybe willing to go up to 700,000 or so.
Hey, come on, this'll eat less than your dog, folks. Come on. Do I see a hand from our esteemed patrons?
I did a big jump there, hoping maybe it would scare everybody away. And it didn't. Didn't scare anybody off. So, in fact, the bidding goes on. We're going to skip the rest of it.
And I sold it.
All right. Pluto Farms grabbed that one. But we have a race coming up. We'll go ahead and take that 2 weeks out. And here we go. Not this one. Skip to my race. Clicking the right buttons this time. This is one with Prince Blaze. That's the only horse of ours that's in it. Let's watch this one, see how it unfolds. Should be in the top half is what it looks like to me there. We'll watch it. Come on. Got to call out before the race started. Let's go number 12. And again, we can kind of roll over him. 72. He's not going to be in the top. Those are going to go just run away with it. We will probably hang out right about here in 4th or 5th. And this is another really long one. Let's go ahead and fast forward. Bouncing between 6th and 5th, it looks like. Don't think he's going to catch that one. Yeah, maybe. I think we're going to run out of track. Yeah. Ran out of track. Okay. Prince Blaze did not do terribly well, but that's all right. First horse not in the money. That's what I meant to say. And we have another race today. Skip to my race. There we go. Jet Rocky Mountain. Okay. 6th in their last race. So hopefully they're improving and continuing to do so. You know what? I'm gonna run this one. Yeah, they're predicted middle pack. So I'll take the reins on this one and I'll take the blame. So number 9. Got a good jump. Can't complain. They've got a lot more stamina than us, but we are ahead of those. We might finish 2nd. And I'm just going to try driving the horse here, so I might be quiet for a minute. The goal is for I'm going to call it the white line in the middle bar, the yellow and the white. You want them to stay close without the white going below the yellow. That's what the instructions kind of indicate. And then you do that by using the left and right arrow keys. I think you can use A and D as well. I'm using the arrow keys. And the horse, if it's not a good match for temperament with your jockey, it will say that reduced control and it'll bounce around. So you kind of have to keep adjusting. I suppose I could just hold down the right key to keep going 100% while I can. I guess that's good of idea as any if you want to make sure you're still maxed out. I don't know that I'm going to catch 11. I'd like to catch 11. Looks like he's still pulling away just a little bit, and we're down to 10%. Inside the last furlong, probably not going to close that up. Yeah, there it is. So that's the line. Third place, though. We'll take it. Okay, continue, and there we are. Very pleased with their effort today. Yeah, I would agree. And Josephine, even though I'm the one who piloted, but, you know, we'll let her take the credit. She's certainly going to get the payout. Maintained position throughout, traveled beautifully, clear run, showed early speed. Yep, that's all roughly true. I will say as soon as I let go of the right arrow key and the meter for speed fell off just a little, went backwards, and then moving it back to 100% did not accelerate. So I would bet this is not an accelerating horse. Well, I am maybe wrong there. We'll have to see. Okay, 115,000 though. We'll take it. And it's a she. I'll try to remember that. But we can continue. We'll go to our message, which basically says, hey, you came in third. Congrats. There's probably another one in there that says you came in sixth for the other horse. And we never looked at these messages after a couple of other things happened. And this is disappointing. Like I said, I know in the previous iteration that I played through, you could adjust, you could make a counteroffer to somebody in this circumstance, and I'm just not seeing that right now anywhere. Yeah. Not seeing it at all. I guess I could report it as a bug. I'll do that on my own time, though. We'll worry about that later. Next race. Here we go. In 3. I don't know who's racing today. Encore Jazz. All these horses, almost all of them. Oh, there we go. There's odds. So Encore Jazz is kind of close to the top on this one. That's a little surprising. There's some really good horses in here. But we'll give it a try. I'm going to go ahead and take the reins again. I don't know. I feel like maybe felt like it went a little better, particularly if I can get a good jump. So we're going to go for it. No bets. We want number 10. And they're off. Right out of the gate. He's doing well. All right, so I'm slowing him down a little. Maybe I shouldn't. This looks a little weird. So he's at 56 and we're at 87. I don't know. We're 3/10 of a furlong in front. Half a furlong ahead. I'm slowing down a little to conserve a little bit of that stamina. It's at 79% with 79% of the race left. So as long as that 0.6 up here, yeah, they're gaining on us now. So we're going to step it back up a little bit. And it's fallen off again. We're a half a furlong ahead of the next horse. I can stand to accelerate here now. Sit at 100% for a while and bring this stamina bar way down here closer to the yellow. This is a little counterintuitive. I did not figure this out on my own. I went and watched one of their videos on how you do it. The company, whose name escapes me, it's got a fun name and has the word meadow in it. I think sheep. but I can't remember exactly how it fits together. I'm really sorry, guys. But their studio, they have a couple of videos out. Whoa, we fell off again. They have a couple of videos out that really describe how to do the control the horses as jockey. We are over a furlong ahead, so I'm not going to be pushing quite as hard. I don't think there's a prize for the fastest, the record. Although, come to think of it, I think there was a page somewhere that had records for the different tracks. So maybe I should kind of pay attention to that. I do feel like this is a little weird right now. This is falling way off, and this isn't going anywhere. And it feels like, I don't know, I feel like I kind of want that to be, I mean, he's at 97%. He's doing great. So why mess with it, right? I don't know what happens if that yellow bar goes all the way down. But he can't burn any more energy than he is. He's running at 100%. So he's also way in front. So why worry about it, right? Down to 15% of the race left. We can go ahead and hit fast. I don't think they're going to catch us. Yeah, we're 2 furlongs ahead. That's a quarter mile, by the way, 400 yards, 450 yards or so. There we have it. We win one. Nice job, Encore. $35,000 in prize money. Very nice, very nice. That helps the horse out too, right? Because people are more interested in its offspring when that starts happening. We will continue there. We do have another race. Nope, we do not. Sorry. Skip all races, not skip to my race. So we are done with races for the day. We'll go ahead and hit that. There we go. To the email, and yeah, we were 35 seconds ahead of the next horse. Again, a little bit, I'm not loving that. I'd like the race to be a little closer, and I'd like the last place horse not to be coming in 2 minutes behind the first place horse, but that's okay. I think they'll get that dialed in. They really have made huge strides in this game over the last 3 weeks that I've been talking with them. Super happy about that and just really thrilled for them. I hope their launch is going as well as they had hoped. I feel like they deserve some accolades, particularly from folks who like horse racing games and horse breeding games. Okay, well, we're going to go for a few more minutes here. And I guess we'll see about, let's go back to races and registration. Is there anybody? Well, we don't have any scheduled except for Da Vinci there. And we're going to go ahead and show only eligible horses because that's just starting to get to be a mess. I was getting confused, and yeah, it's not good when I get confused these days. So let's go to Prince Blaze. And as a young horse, he's ready to go pretty quickly here. He's at 96% after just 2 weeks off. So, but we can maybe go a little longer. Can we wait another week? Yeah, let's go out here, get him to 97%. We'll race there. Jet Rocky Mountain did fairly well in their last race, came in third. Starting to show some promise. What can we do for them? Well, if we wait an entire month, we don't have a big difference in their expected condition if we race now or then. So let's go 2 weeks for them. And then finally, Encore Jazz, who raced today. Going to be a little tired. Let's go ahead and give them benefit of the doubt. They like the longer races, though. I don't think we want to put them in a 7. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait on Encore. One of the things you can do while you're like waiting in that is we could go in here and say training and give them a break, like go to, or we can assign something specific for them as well. Maybe change their trainer. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Can give it a try. We'll go ahead and go to the next race, which is 2 weeks out. Might be this one. None in this one. We'll go to next. Who do we have? This is Prince Blaze. Let's go for it. His temperament is explosive. He is not doing well in the odds. Not picked to finish in the top 5, it doesn't look like. At least according to the odds makers and the actual bets coming in. I'm going to go ahead and take the reins again. Let's see if I can have some improved control here. Click on him here and then be ready to go. And they're off. Number 3. All right, he's doing okay there. How are these guys doing? 92%, 92, falling way off. Well, this guy's probably way up there, 91. Yeah, we're going to probably middle pack. That'd be my guess here. Although we're doing really well on energy. Those horses are burning. We might be able to show. It seems to me if your stamina left stays above your distance left as far as the percentage goes, you should be in pretty good shape if you're doing 100%. Definitely shouldn't fall off. Yeah, the leader is half a furlong ahead of us. That's 100 yards, a little over. Well, it's 110 yards is what it comes down to, and a few inches, I think. Yeah, those first two within, I guess that'd be about 40 yards of one another. That still feels like a lot. But we should see the finish just like this. We will be in third, and we'll take it. Should be crossing that line now. And there it is, finished. And now we are half a furlong out. And there it is. Third place. We will celebrate that. We weren't really expecting to do quite that well. We'll take home $7,000. Nice job, Prince. We do have another race today, so we'll take that up. Jet Rocky Mountain. 6th place finish last time. Let's see what happens now. I'm going to go ahead and do this one again. They are not the overall favorite, but they are considered in the top, so that's good. She's got some pretty good competition here. We're seeing some 2.5-star horses. She is a 2-star horse right now. So let's see what happens. I'm going to take the reins, and I'm going to cross my fingers. In the 14 spot. They're off. Wow, she got a good jump. So really it's a matter of timing the start and hitting the right arrow to break. And if you don't hit the right arrow, you just sit there in the stall. And if you're sitting there in the stall, as you can imagine, you're not going anywhere. Now in this race, you'll notice that the stamina left is way below the race left. So I'm going to have to slow down a little bit. But we probably should hold fairly steady here. We take a look at this horse. He's got a lot more energy than us. He's probably going to pass us. Yeah, he's at 100% with 74 stamina. We're aiming for 82. We're doing 99 with 55 stamina. So I'm going to go ahead and try speeding back up, though. I don't know. Maybe we can reel him back in. Maybe? I think we might get close and then he's going to take off on us. Yeah, I might have misread that a little bit. It's a much shorter race than I was realizing. Guess it came in at what? 8 furlong? 10 furlongs. We're down to the last 2. We might catch him. Come on, get there. We're going to put us in 4th place. I think we're in 5th right now. I don't want to mess around and peek. And there's the finish line, though. Right there. Made it close. Less than a second behind that horse. But hey, we are in the money. We're not in the payout money as far as bets go, but we will take home a little bit of prize money. Only $3,500, but that's $3,500 that the horse just earned for us. So there we have it. And we're going to skip the remaining races. Go check out that message. And there we go. Okay. I think I'm going to wrap this up right here. It looks like we're having some sound problems tonight, and I need to maybe figure that out. Might try to give this another try. I'd like to say tomorrow night. We'll just have to see how that works out. Maybe I can get this solved tomorrow morning, and we'll take another peek at this. The game is Horse Racing Manager, and it is a brand new release. Just came out on Steam tonight in early access. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. I played it 3 weeks ago in an early access version, and it is so much more refined now. Much, much more refined. They've done a fantastic job there. We haven't had a crash tonight. We've been playing for a couple hours now, so that's a good sign. I had previously had a crash about a little less than once an hour when I was playing it a few weeks back when I did my other video, but they weren't horrible crashes. I wasn't losing time. It always seemed to happen immediately after a save. I think the game might do some sort of auto save like after everything that happens, because I didn't lose a moment, it didn't seem. So, you know, if it's going to crash, at least if you're not losing anything, you're just losing the time to restart the game. So that's not horrible. Obviously, you'd prefer that not happen, right? But if it's going to go that way, at least it's saved. So that's good. Haven't seen that tonight. That's fantastic. Seeing that we do have a little bit of control over where things end up finishing. We started to see a few horses coming in a little better. I think you kind of have to just buy more expensive horses to do better. It just seems to be what it comes down to right off the bat. I think it'll be very interesting to play a longer form of the game and see how the breeding works, and see how that works to your advantage. I will say that the predictive breeding here, where it shows you the expected DNA for the horse, I kind of wish they didn't have that, honestly. I think you need to have a little bit of risk involved, particularly when it's only costing you $10,000 in a game where you start with whatever you want, really. We started with 15 million, actually. Now we have spent half of that. That's fair. We've only have one horse that's due with a full, so you could certainly edit your own difficulty in the game by choosing your path, only buying 2-star horses from the get-go until you breed them up to 5 stars, Open world kind of satisfaction to some extent, building something completely up from the bottom. If that's your jam, more power to you. I actually do like that at times. This is a game where I could see myself doing that. There are a lot of games where I really have no interest in that whatsoever. This one could be one of those. Time will tell. I do see myself putting some time into this when I am not recording, and that's always a good sign. Beyond that, hopefully you will take a quick peek at this. This, again, is Horse Racing Manager. I'm going to see if I can get their name right. These poor guys, they've been so good to me, and I can't even remember their name, and I feel horrible about that. It is Sheep Meadow Road Games. I believe they're out of Norway. I think that's what they told me. Sheep Meadow Road Games, and give it a look-see. There is a demo available as well. At least there had been a demo available. I think it's still out there. The demo may not represent the actual finished product very well at this point. There are a lot of differences from when I last saw it. Beyond that, thank you for your time tonight. And until next time, fair travels.